Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk of cost estimation, really, we are looking at cost ascertainment and the prediction. So in this case here, tell us that this is the process. This is the process by which production cost is ascertained. If you can recall very well from your section 2 management accounting, that essentially costs are supposed to be done what here? They are supposed to be predetermined. They are supposed to be determined in advance. This is important. This is important for pricing purposes. This is important for pricing purposes. You are not supposed to really produce your chair until it is fully standing there. That is when you start saying, hey, I'm going to sell that chair at 1,200. Why at 1,200? Because it cost me 1,000. What if, ladies and gentlemen, there is nobody who is willing to buy that chair at 1,200? What if your competitors are selling the same type of chair at 900? So it's important for you to capture these costs which will be incurred to produce this particular chair in advance, for you to be able to really add a markup on top and say that by the time I finish this chair, then the appropriate cost will be 1,000, the total cost will be 1,000, and therefore the appropriate cost will be 1,200, so that I can now get a chance of moving around. As I move around, I'll be able to get some people who are selling a chair that is similar to what I plan to produce, maybe at a lower price. So if it's at a lower price, I need to go back to my table and ask myself, what is it that I can do to lower my cost so that the resultant selling price will be comparable to what the competitors have? So it will be very important for us to do the estimations of our production cost in advance for various reasons. But the most important reason is that if you're able to know the cost in advance, it will be very important for pricing. Sorry, I forgot this. For pricing purposes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have in this case here the cost estimation techniques. And the first cost estimation technique, if you look at your course outline, is the high-low method. High-low method. The high-low method. The high-low method. The high-low method. So mention there high-low method. So under high-low method, what are we required to know? We're not going to those major details that you used to go through in section 2. No. Here it's a high level. It's about a helicopter. It's helicopter studying, right? Ladies and gentlemen, here, high-low method is used. This is used to develop equations of the form, equations of the form y equals a plus bx. It is used to develop equations of the form y equals a plus who? Y equals a plus bx. Used to develop equations of the form y equals a plus bx. Of course, as you realize and bear witness with me, this is a straight line equation. This is a straight line equation. It is used to develop equations of the form y equals a plus who? Bx. Y equals a plus bx. Great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this particular model makes use of 2 points. It uses 2 points to develop the straight line function. To develop, it uses 2 points only to develop the straight line function. It uses 2 points only to develop the straight line function. Is that an advantage? No. You can imagine a situation where somebody has kept records of, say, 100 months, and then you're telling this person that 98 months, put aside the 98 months. They're only going to make use of how many months? 2 months. That is quite bad. It only makes use of how many points? 2 points only. Which points are these? It uses 2 points only. It uses 2 points only to develop the straight lines. And in this case here, we have a full colon there. The first point here is the highest X value point. And then number 2, we have the lowest X value point. So it uses 2 points only to develop the straight line function. And the 2 points are, number 1, we have the highest X value point, and then number 2, we have the lowest X value point. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for instance, if you're given this kind of points here, you are given this is 6, 8, for example, 12, 15. You are given here, for example, 3, 9, 13, and maybe 16 like that. Right? And then you are told out of this information, you are told here to define the high-low equation. Define the high-low equation. Very important for our exams. Define the high-low equation. Define the high-low equation. The high-low equation. Define 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 the high-low equation. Hii mimi nitaweza haraka sana. Kwa sababu gani? Because najua zile points ambazo zinatakana katika high low. So nitaanza na high point. Remember, when I'm choosing my highest point, I'm not even looking at what is happening with y. I'm only interested with the x. The highest x here is 15, but of course now I have to take it as a point. So you take the highest, and then of course it has to be a point. And then the lowest, what do we have here for the lowest? Lowest, we have 6 there, and then of course you take it as a point like that. Without really worrying whether y is the lowest. No. I'm only picking the highest x and the lowest x value point like that. And then now once I do that, ladies and gentlemen, now next thing will be for me to write the general high-low equation. I'll come and write here the general high-low equation. So general high-low equation, what do we have? Remember, it is y equals a plus bx. So I need 2 points. And these 2 points, I'm going to make them using the high, the H stands for high, and the low point. So I would want somebody to help me coin the highest value point equation, right? By plugging in these high point coordinates here, please give me the highest value point equation. Somebody try that out for us. Somebody try that out for us. Somebody try this out for us. What do we have here, somebody? 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 So what are we doing? We are basically plugging in the highest points, highest point coordinates. So we know that y is 16. I'm plugging in the meaning here. So y is 16 equals a that I don't know plus bx. Fortunately, I know the x. X is 15. Yes, x is 15. So it will be b15, b times 15. And somebody tells me there, You can't have the letter and the number. It should be the number and the, so 15 comes ahead. So it gives us plus 15b, plus 15b. So that is equation number 1. How about equation number 2? Equation number 2, now I shall be able to get equation number 2 using what here? Somebody using the lowest point. This one here. Equation number 2 using the lowest point. Thank you very much, Ellen. So equation number 2 using the lowest point, plugging it in here. So the y here is 3, which will be equal to a plus bx. X is 6. So b is 6. So it has to be 6b, like that. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate that the next step then will be for us to eliminate a simultaneously. So eliminate a simultaneously through subtraction. So if you subtract, what do we have here? 16 minus 3 gives me what figure? Somebody gives me 13. This disappears. This gives me what? Somebody there. Is it 9? 9, boy. The equals is there. The equals is there. Therefore, boy will be 13 over 9. Could you kindly give me the final answer in terms of 4 decimal places? Give me the final answer in terms of 4 decimal places. What do we have there? Somebody 13 over 9. What do we have here? Somebody 13 over 9. Four decimal places. So 1.44, thank you very much. So we have here 1.444 like that. So that is boy. Now, once I have boy, I can easily get the value of A through plugging in the value of B in any of the 2 equations. So I'll come and ask myself, what is the value of A from equation 1? What is the value of A from equation 1? So from equation 1, what do we have as the value of A? So we have here 16 equals A that I do not know plus 15 times boy. And the boy you have just told me is 1.44 like that. So then this will be 16 equals A plus, could you kindly give me this multiplication? What is 15 times 1.4444? 15 times 1.4444 will give us what figure, somebody? $15 times 1.444 will give us what figure, somebody? 21.6666. Thank you very much. 21.6666 like that. And of course, then I'll have to take this to the other side, which will be negative, right? Which will be negative. So it will be 16 minus 21.6666, which will be equal to A. Therefore, A will be minus something. A will be minus something. Minus 5.664. Minus 5.664 like that. So once I've been able to get the value of A and B, I know at the end of the day, they wanted me to write the equation. They wanted me to write the equation. Y equals A plus BX. Now that I have the connectors, my Y is supposed to be equal to A which is minus 5.664 plus B that you guys gave me as 1.444. X like that. So once you get the values of A and B, ultimately this examiner wants you to define the value of the equation. Ultimately the examiner wants you to get the equation for us. He wants you to get the equation for us. That is what was expected of us in this particular what here question. Is there anybody who has a question there? Is there anybody who has a question? So perhaps I could try you with one. I could try you with one, and then you reason out with your friend. With your friend, of course, you finish and talk live here. So we have here X and Y. Then they have given us here 6, 8, 9, 10, 6, 10. Right? So we have here 4, 6, 9, or 10. 11. We have here 2. Here we have 12 like that. right? So you are required here to define the high-low equation. To define the high-low equation. Could you kindly define this high-low equation for us? Could you kindly define this high-low equation for us? Kindly define the high-low equation for us. Yes, it's intentional that I have those two of them, yes. Okay, I'm giving you more time. You think through it nicely. Great. I can see answers already are here with us. So let's do it together. Here we are. Now, here there is something that is very interesting. We are going to select how many points? Of course, two of them. Highest X value, lowest X value. So the highest X value here, I can see there are two of them. So when there are 2, now I have to think of the other side. So this is 10 with 11. This is 10 with the 12. And because I'm looking for the very highest, then the highest of the highest will be 10, 12, not 10, 11. Is there somebody who was able to reason like that? The highest there are 2, 10, 11, 10. The highest of the highest will be 10, 12. Yes. The same case with the lowest. Lowest I can see it is 6, but you see we have 6 with the 4 and the 6 with the 2. So if it's lowest, it has to be lowest of the lowest. So 6 with the 2 prevails. 6 with the 2 prevails. 6 with the 2 prevails there. 6 with the 2 prevails there. Now, the moment I have that, then straight away I'll have to recall the formula. I'll have to recall the formula. My formula here is y equals a plus bx. That is a straight line high-low equation. And if that is the case, then I'll begin with the highest first. So the highest I can see, y is 12. So we have 12 equals a plus bx. This is 10. So b10. So that becomes 10b, equation 1. Then we have equation 2. Now come and plug in the lowest. So 6, 2. So of course, y is 2. So 2 equals a plus 6 boy. 6 boy. So please subtract for you to be able to eliminate a, subtract. So 12 minus 2, that gives me 10. A minus a, that disappears. 10 minus 6, that gives me what? Somewhere there. That gives me 4b. Implying that b will be 10 divided by 4. So 10 divided by 4, what do we have there? Somebody 10 divided by 4? 10 divided by 4. 10 divided by 4.
2.5.
2.5. So b is 2.5. So once I've gotten b, I should be able to get a very easily from equation number 1. So from equation number 1 is up here. It reads 12 equals a plus 10b, and b happens to be 2.5. So then this will be 12 equals a plus this is 25, right? Implying at the end of the day that a will be 12 minus 25. A will be 12 minus 25. So a will be 12 minus 25, which gives me what figure? Somebody there?
13, negative 13.
Negative 13. Thank you very much. So, and that is it. So the only thing that I need to come and do very fast here is really to write down the equation now. You write down the equation. You write down the equation. So our equation, remember, it's y equals a plus bx. So our y will be equal to a, which is minus 13, plus boy. Boy, you told me is 2.5. X. Let me see whether there is anybody who got this correctly. Bahati au kupata bahati, lazima uliconfuse uko juu kidogo. $4.5. From Cyrus, kuna wale confuse the points. Hakuna mwenye alipata mmoja No, naona kuna minus 13.
Mimi nimepata.
Yes. Naona kuna mahali kuna minus 13. Nimeona kuna mahali kuna minus 13, mouse yangu inanisumbua. Great. Thank you very much. So I hope this is clear, and we shall be seeing how this is important in our past papers. So for now, allow mwalimu to go to the second model called regression analysis. The second model is called regression analysis. Regression analysis. So we have here regression analysis. So regression analysis also is not a new model. It's something that you guys did in section 4. What you're supposed to know is that regression analysis is also known as the method of what here? The method of ordinary least squares. Method of ordinary least squares. The method of ordinary least squares. OLS. OLS. It is used to ascertain. It is used to ascertain equations of the form, y equals a plus bx. Equations of the form y equals a plus who plus bx. Where to get b, is there anybody who can remind us the formula of getting b? The regression of formula. What's like change in y by change in x? No. The regression of formula. Is there anybody who is able to remember this thing over n summation of x squared? Tatuone maajabu. Hii ni uongo na ngoja mniambie. Na ngoja mniambie numerator, na ngoja mniambie numerator. Marie anasema mimi I cannot remember. Acha tungoje mmoja atuambie. Mosa amejaribu sana, asante sana. Mosa amepata, amesema namna it's n summation of xy minus sum of x summation of y all over n summation of x squared minus into bracket sum of x done what here squared. Very, very important. The formula for getting b. Please write down this formula. Is a very important formula. And then of course to get a, we normally talk of sum of y minus b sum of x all over who? All over n. Those are very important formulas. Thank you very much, Moses. We must cram them. We must cram this. Yeah. Sasa tunakuja straight away kwa exercise. So exercise kwetu ni kitu ya maana sana. Ukipatiwa hapa for example xy, wamekupatia hapa 3 6 8, hapa maybe you're gonna 2 7 9, and then they want you to ascertain the regression equation. So you are required here to determine the regression equation. You are required to determine the regression equation. Determine the regression equation. Kama unakumbuka vizuri, hapa kuna column mbili lazima uongeze. We have the column of xy and the column of x squared. Kuna column mbili lazima uongeze, column of xy and the column of what here? X squared. Very important formulas. These two, you'll have to get them in your exam. Those two. So column of xy and the column of what here? Somebody x squared. So those two columns, I have to understand them very well because I would want to take care of this and I would want to take care of this. So xy means what? You are multiplying 3 by 2. That gives me 6. 6 by 7. That gives me 42. 8 by 9. That gives me 70. What here? 72. That gives me 72. And then we have x squared. X squared, this will give me 9. I'm squaring these x values. 3 squared is 9. 6 squared is 36. When we have 8 squared is 60. What here? 64. 8 squared is 64. So then, ladies and gentlemen, if that is the case, please come here. Remember, regression is a sigma model. So come here right away and give me the summations. So give me the summation of x, give me the summation of y, give me the summation of xy, give me the summation of x squared, like that. So you're adding, give it summation of x, you add like that. Give us a figure.
X 21.
X is
21.
21. 21, thank you. Continue with
17.
17, Summation of x, I'm being told, is 17. Thank you very much. How about summation of y?
18.
18. 18, thank you very much. How about summation of xy?
120.
120. Thank you very much. How about x squared summation?
109.
100. 109. 109. Thank you very much. Now, having gotten those nicely, these summations nicely, please come and plug them in here. So first of all, we must comprehend what this n stands for. N stands for number of points. Number of points. How many points do we have here? We have how many points? 3 points. 3 points. XY coordinate. XY. 3 points. So n is 3. And if that is the case, then I'll be able to say here, my n is 3. So 3 times summation of xy. Summation of xy, we know summation of xy is here. Is 120. Thank you very much. Minus summation of x alone, which is 17. Times summation of y. Summation of y here is 18. All over n again, which is 3. Times, this is quite confusing. You'll always get people telling you that this summation of x squared is the same as this 17 squared. No. Remember, this sigma comes after you've squared x. And you did square, column of x squared is here. So summation of x squared is 109. 109. Minus now into bracket here, sum of x, which is this sum of x, 17 squared. So now here you have to move slowly, give us the numerator and the denominator. Please start by first of all giving us the numerator. Must move slowly, give us the denominator and the numerator. So according to Moses, Wanjigi, Wanyingi. Kama ni Wanjigi, huyu wafagia wote. Right? Anasema kwamba inafaa kuwa 54 over 38. Ellen has confirmed that. So Cyrus amesema kwamba B inafaa kuwa 1.4, 1.4211. Can someone else confirm this figure? Can someone else confirm this figure? 1.4211. Great. Rena amesema yes. Or do you want us to? I would rather we work with 4 decimal places. Let's work with the 4 decimal places. 1.4211. Silas. 4 decimal places. 4 decimal places. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, having ascertained that, it is not lost on me that to get to the value of A, the formula that has to be crammed is here. To get the value of A, I know that A should be summation of Y. Summation of Y, already we have it. It is 18 minus B, which you guys have already given me, 211, times summations of X. Summation of X here is 17. Everything to be divided by 3. So again, here you have to be very careful. Please get the numerator kando. Get the numerator kando. Get the numerator kando. Get the numerator kando. So numerator kando, this will be 18 times 1.4211 times 17 equals . So I'm waiting to be given the numerator for A. So we have Ellen giving us minus 33, minus 33, minus 33 over 3 like that. Meaning that A, check again, Eileen. It's 18 minus this times 17. Check again, Eileen, for the numerator. And then whatever you get, please divide. I can see some students who are agreeing at some value. They're telling me that Mwalimu, the final answer of A is supposed to be minus 2.0529. Thank you very much. That is the value of A. The students who are in agreement with that. And if that is the case, then my y is supposed to be equal to A plus bx. My regressional y will be equal to A that I've just obtained here as minus 2.0529 plus b, which you guys gave me earlier on. You guys had given me this earlier on as 1.4211 x, like that. Because once I get the value of A and B, I'm supposed to come and plug them in. Like that. And that is the answer. Very easy indeed. Good. Now something for your exercise, right? Something for your exercise. And then I'll be able to advise on the way forward. Something for your exercise. So if, for example, you are given here X, you are given Y, right? So we have here, for example, 4, 8, 12, 21, 25, 6, 9, 18, 21, 24, like that. And then they want the regression equation very fast. Before I show you how to do this with a shortcut using a calculator, let's see.
Kindly mute Rebecca.
Okay, so I see 2792. Yep, I can see like 3 students who have gotten the same answer. I want to presume that the answers they got is correct. Iko mwanafunzi alipata figa tofauti kweli? Iko mwanafunzi ambayo ako na swali kweli? Okay, so can I move on to a different concept? Can I move on to a different concept? Wengi wamenyamaza. Can I move on to a different concept now? Pata potea na kupatia dakika 3. Na amesema yes, nakupa dakika 3 malize, dakika 3 kila mtu kwa maliza. Tunaenda kwa different concept. Only 3 minutes. Cyrus wants mwalimu to show them the shortcut, not today. Today, what I would want to do is to show you, first of all, Mary amepata figa tofauti kidogo. Asante kwa kuwa bold. Mary amepata figa tofauti kidogo. So then what we could do, if you guys don't mind, please give me your summations. Please give me your summations. Give me your summations. So can somebody in this case here read for us the summation of x, summation of y, summation of xy,
Okay.
and summation of x squared. So summation of x, what figure do we have here, somebody?
Hello.
Yes.
Summation
70.
70, thank you very much. How about summation of y?
78.
78. How about summation of xy?
819.
819. Lastly, summation of x squared?
1290.
1290, like that. Thank you very much. And once you give me that, for sure, I'll be able to give you B, which is n summations of xy minus sum of x, sum of y, n summation of x squared minus bracket sum of x squared, like that. So then my B will be equal to the n, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So n is 5. So 5 times summation of xy is here, 819. Minus sum of x is here, 70. Times summation of y is here, 78. Over n which is 5 times summation of x squared. summation of x squared, which is 1290, minus into bracket the whole sum of x. The sum of x is 70, so minus 70 squared. So here you have to move a little bit slow and get the numerator kando. Numerator kando, mlipata ngapi numerator? Somebody numerator?
Negative 13.
Negative 13.
68.
68. Can somebody else in this case here, someone else confirm that figure?
Mine
Negative?
is negative 1365.
65. Mary, ulipoteza tatu hapo, 65. All over the denominator?
1550.
1550. 1550. So 4 decimal places, what do we have as the value of b? Negative 0 point?
Negative 0.8806.
8806, right? Once I have the value of b, getting the value of a will not be a tall order. Getting the value of a will not be a tall order. Getting the value of a will not be a tall order. So to get a, I know the formula. I know it is sum of y minus b sum of x all over n. So to get my a will be equal to summation of y. Already I have summation of y here, 78. Minus the b that you guys gave me, which is a minus itself, 0.8806, right? Times summation of x, which is 70 here, all over n, which is what here, somebody 5. Pia unaenda pole pole for you to be able to give us the numerator first. So numerator will be 78 minus minus. There are 2 of them. Minus minus, there are 2 of them.
39.642.
49.
139.642. 139.642.
$139.642 over 5. So then this divided by this gave you guys what figure?
I'm getting a different figure, Mwalimu.
He's getting a different figure, and basically the difference has to be coming from these 2 negatives because it's supposed to be positive. What figure are you getting, Silas?
Excuse me. We have Silas and Cyrus.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes, it's correct. I had confused the negative and positive sides.
Okay, so this figure is correct.
It's correct.
Yes.
It's correct.
Thank you. Divided by 5. So finally, what do we have there? Somebody finally?
27.92.
0.92. I want 4 decimal places.
84.
84.
84. Thank you very much. And I'm so sure that the moment you have the 2, writing an equation is not anyone's problem here. Great. Thank you very much. Now, before I get to show you a shortcut, I have to teach you how to get the coefficient of correlation. So mention there, coefficient of correlation. Coefficient of correlation. So mention there, coefficient of who? Coefficient of correlation, which is our R. Coefficient of correlation, which is our R. So this coefficient of correlation, this measures the bond stroke degree of strength between 2 variables, between two variables. Degree of strength between two variables. Degree of strength between two variables. Right? Right? So then the question is, how do we calculate this R? To calculate the R, the coefficient of correlation, this R is very close to the formula of B. If you tell me the formula of B, then I'll be able to give you the formula of R very easily. So the formula of B, we recall, it is n summations of xy minus sum of x, sum of y, all over n sum of x squared minus sum of x done what here, squared like that. Right? In the formula B. So if you tell me now to write for you the formula of the correlation coefficient, and having known this, first of all, I know that the numerators are normally the same. N summation of xy minus summation of x, summation of y. Denominator will also be the same. N summation of x squared minus summation of x squared. Lakini sasa kuna tofauti hapa. Tofauti ya kwanza inakuja because it's a correlation. Down hapa you can't only have x. We must also introduce the y component down because you're relating x and y. So down hapa pia lazima ukuje uandike y component which follows exactly this structure. Kwa hivyo hapa nitakuwa na n summation of barakisema x na summation of y squared minus into bracket sum of y squared like that. Alafu kama ni correlation, hiyo lazima uvalishe kofia. Lazima uvalishe kofia kama ni correlation. Weke square root mbili namna hiyo chini. Vitabu zingine huwa zinasema unaweka one big square root, lakini it's good to put them separately. At the end of the day, we'll get the same answer like that. So meaning that for us to be able to do a correlation analysis, you will need to come and introduce a fresh column of y squared because we need y squared somewhere here. So could you kindly introduce that column of y squared, and then we see who will be able to be the first one to substitute properly in terms of giving us R. Please introduce y squared column upate hapa, and then you plug in the figures. We get to see who will be the first one to get the figure of R correctly. Let's see.
Mm. Ngoja.
Oscar gets 0.9985, the same figure that basically Silas has also gotten, apart from rounding off difference. These students could be very correct. So I'm giving the other students also 2 minutes to clear this. We see whether they will be correct as well. So it measures the bond or the degree of strength. So you can imagine, like in this case here, X and Y, they are related up to 99.85%. Quite a high value of association. A high value of association. Sarah has been able to get it. I hope, Sarah, that's not a negative you're putting there, because I don't think there's a negative figure here. So coefficient of correlation measures the bond stroke degree of strength between two variables. Okay. Yes. Okay. Great. So we shall make reference to a past paper question, but before then, it will be important that everybody is able to get this figure. So is there anybody who is getting a different figure, or all of us are comfortable with that 9984 or 9985? Are we comfortable?
It's a positive value.
Are you getting the value?
Yeah, I think that the people who have a negative value, they have switched signs, but it's a positive 0.9984.
No, I think the people who are getting negatives are the ones who are correct.
Very
the ones
true.
who are getting, let's try. The ones who are getting negatives are the ones who are correct. Let's see. True, isn't it? Yeah, because I can see that X and Y are negatively related. Let's see. So our R, thank you very much for raising that. Our R will be equal to N. N is 5 times summation of X, Y. You guys gave me a figure of 819 here, minus sum of X, which is 70, times we have sum of Y, which is 78. All over, we have root N. N again is 5. Summation of X squared, I don't have a problem with this, it's 1290, minus summation of X alone, 70 squared, and then another square root over N, which is 5 times sum of Y squared. Y squared mlinipatia figure gani somebody? Y squared
1458
minus summation of Y, which is 78 squared. Hapa sasa lazima uende kwa mwendo wa aste, yani mwendo wa kinyonga ama upate zero. Mwendo wa kinyonga ama upate zero. Mwendo wa kinyonga ama upate zero. Kumaanisha kwamba our R here will be equal to the numerator kwanza inakuja ngapi? Tuena numerator kwanza. Ukweba anasema kwamba it's negative. Numerator mnapata ngapi? Somebody uko juu.
Negative 1365.
55 like that. Please, could you...
55.
Negative 13?
55.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How about this inside here under the square root? 5 times 1290 minus 70 squared gives me what figure?
1550.
1550.
Yes.
And then square root of, how about the other one?
1206.
1206. Sasa nikienda kwa kalki yangu nitafinya hivi, kwa calculator nitafinya minus 1365, niseme divide by open bracket for the denominator. Divide by open bracket, niseme square root 1550, niseme times square root 1206. That's how I press this in my calculator, in close bracket. So you'll be able to see that this will end up giving us negative 0.9984. 84 or 85 or even 86, like that. So you see, when we go to the shortcut from our calculators, the calculator will be able to give us even the R figure. But for today, I would just want to take you through the longer approach all the way up to ascertainment of coefficient of determination. Right? I'll not even show you how to interpret. Wetu endelea namna hiyo, niandikie hapo coefficient of determination. So we have coefficient of correlation And then we have coefficient of determination. So we have here coefficient of determination. Coefficient of who? Determination, which is our R squared. So tell us there that this provides the explained variance, proportion. The explained variance proportion. The higher it is, the more explanatory power a model has, a predictive model has. The higher it is, the more explanatory power a model has. So then a good model should be able to be having what we call a higher coefficient of determination. The coefficient of determination for a very good model that is able to predict for us accurately should be very high. You know, there are those models, for example, if you remember during those times that people used to predict like who will be there, President of Kenya, right? Others in this case, you could predict Raila. Others could predict Uhuru Kenyatta, like that. So are those models correct or wrong? Do they have a high explanatory power? Right? Kenyan politics is quite a sad situation. Hawezi ukasema namna hii alikuwa correct, alikuwa wrong. But remember, my concept here is that the higher, if you looked at, for example, Sinovet used to do their predictions and they were telling us that they were making their predictions at 5% margin of error, right? So if they predict, for example, Raila will become the president and it doesn't become the president, they'll come and tell you, hey, we were not in this case here predicting with 100% confidence. No, we predicted with some margin of error and they fell down simply because we had the 5%, like that, right? So the margin of error, these are things you need to know as a professional. Margin of error, confidence interval, coefficient of determination. So like now, coefficient of determination gives us what we call the explained variance proportion. To what extent can this model explain the errors? Can this model explain the forecasts? The more it's able to explain, the better. Anything that is well explained, ladies and gentlemen, becomes very nice. Now here we are. So the higher it is, the more the explanatory power a model has. So then you can see here, we are saying that coefficient of determination is R squared. So in short, we are saying that coefficient of determination equals coefficient of correlation squared. So anytime anybody asks you to ascertain the coefficient of determination, remember that coefficient of determination equals coefficient of correlation squared. Great. Coefficient of determination equals coefficient of correlation done what here? Squared. Coefficient of correlation squared. So ladies and gentlemen, like in our case here, then our R squared will be equal to minus 0.9984 squared, which will end up giving us what figure? Somebody here. Which will end up giving us somebody what figure here?
Okay, we are getting the figure 0.9968.
0.9968, which means that 99.68% is explained by the model. The other percentages, which is not explained here, means that automatically we could be having other factors which are not in there, which in this case here are very few. Because if you are able to explain up to 99.68%, then, ladies and gentlemen, we are so good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so good like that. So when we come in the next class, I'll be able to show you how to use the calculator to be able to do what here, to get these particular parameters. So it has been a pleasure hosting you tonight. Of course, from the subsequent sessions, I'll be going full length, 2 hours. But here we have to move a little bit slow because of the fewer students. You know, many students I'm sure will be joining us from next month. We have to wait for them a little bit here and there. But I know you are seeing the value. So let's continue like that. All is well. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mwalimu.
Okay, welcome.
Excuse me.
Yes.
What about the videos?
Oh, video ndio mimi wacha nikae sasa hivi time niko nayo niwatumie kama video ya regression. Please muendelee kuwatch.
Na
What about the
note.
note?
And
What about the note?
the book I sent the book. You haven't seen it?
Yes.
I sent the book.
Alafu Mwalimu,
Outline.
Course outline nitaweka pia.
For those of us who joined today, how far behind are we?
Only one session about tulifanya jana.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Vitu tutawapatia video yake pia. Mko na kazi mingi ya kuona video mingi.
It was just
Thank you.
theory.
The theory, it was just theory, yes. But you need that theory. It's very important for your theory questions. You know, your exams, 30% will always be theoretical. 30% will be always theoretical. So thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.